My name is Augie Ghilarducci. I'm the founder and creator of Second Opportunity. I'd like to share with you my journey that led to the creation of the Second Opportunity Reentry Program. The Second Opportunity Program wasn't born in a boardroom. It's based on my personal experience. I was incarcerated for 13 years. The entire time I worked in the education department, and my job was to create and instruct courses to fellow inmates. But I realized that there weren't enough quality courses available that focused on reentry. And that's what the intention is of the Second Opportunity Program. What we're going to share now is a section from our first course, A Path Forward. This focuses on communication skills, things that are essential for a job interview. And what this video is about is developing your own elevator pitch, a way for you to tell your story in a meaningful and convincing way for an employer. The elevator pitch. They tell me the name comes from being able to tell your story in the length of time it takes to ride the elevator, somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds. I think a good elevator pitch can be done in 30 seconds or so. The elevator pitch is what we want to be able to tell somebody to entice them to want to interview us and ultimately hire us. It's a synopsis of our background and experience. It's all about us. It's about what we're able to do. And it is expressed in a way that we let them know that we have confidence in who we are and what we can do so that they would be interested in learning more about us. So let's talk about some of the realities here. Talk about my reality. My reality is that I was incarcerated for a long period of time. That's a reality. And my opinion is that it's going to come out. I know it's going to come out. You can go to Google search and find out anything pretty much about anyone. So if an employer, a potential employer, is going to find out what my background is, I want them to hear it from me. I don't want them to read it on some article. I don't want it to be because some coworker slips a note under the door. I want them to hear from me what my situation is, and there is nobody that tells my story better than I do. So the challenge then is to develop my story in a way that I'm able to tell it and tell it confidently and tell it in almost any situation. And with that having been said, let's talk about some of the key components of an elevator pitch. We want it to be persuasive. We want it to be something that they'll remember. We want to be able to share our skills and what we can do and what we've done. In order to get it to that point, we want to practice it. We want to keep it so that it's fresh all the time. If we take a new class, if we get involved in something different, we want to add that to our elevator pitch. We want to make sure that we mention what our goals are, what we're about. We want to speak directly to the person that we're communicating with, and I'll share mine with you and how that works. And so I tell people that, my name is Augie Ghilarducci, and I was raised in a good home by two terrific parents. I had good values. I understood right from wrong. I had my own financial company after I graduated school, and I successfully operated that for almost 15 years. But then I got involved with the wrong people. I made some horrible decisions and some bad choices. And for that, I went to federal prison for almost 13 years. But while I was away, I learned more about myself. One of the things I did is I got involved in the education department, and I actually developed a series of courses that I taught to fellow inmates. I was in a community outreach program, speaking to high schools, colleges, businesses about some of the failures of my decision process that they could use when they're challenged with different ethical things. And so as I sit in front of you today with the opportunity to work for your company, I want you to know that I'm better than I was before I went away. I have a better understanding of who I am, and I know the way that I can make an impact in a company if I'm given that opportunity. And that to me is an elevator pitch. And it's something that many years ago, I used to hire people, hired, I'm sure dozens of people over the years. And when I'd have a heavy day of interviewing, there would always be one or two persons that I interviewed that stuck out in my head. And I think that that's what the objective is to be one of those people that when the interviewing person that goes home at night, he remembers, that guy came in and he told me the story. He was very honest with me, telling me about being locked up. And I think I want to talk to him again. So the purpose of the elevator pitch is not just to spout out your stuff, but to do it in a way that they remember you. And I think that greatly enhances the opportunity for you to be able to get called in and get into a serious interview for the job. I hope you enjoyed that section. Even more so, I hope that you can imagine yourself sitting in front of a potential employer delivering your elevator pitch, something that'll lead to that first job after release. This is what the Second Opportunity Program is all about, is providing information, knowledge, and skills to help us to navigate the reentry journey